With the launch of The Edge of Fate and Portal, we didn't get any of our usual content like lost sectors or strikes. Instead, we got a content restructure in the form of solo, fireteam, Pinnacle, and Crucible Ops. I wanted to specifically look at the solo ops playlist. My first impression of it was that it was just gonna be lost sectors, but you didn't have to go look for the node and walk to it. And I'm actually happy that that's not what it is. They put a little bit more into it. Though two of the areas, probably three, overlap with lost sectors, but they have been restructured and changed and had things like added to them. Nothing crazy, not a complete overhaul. It's at least not a one-to-one of, lost sectors. So at launch, we have a total of 6 solo ops. I was expecting more at launch. I think 10 to 12 would have been a lot healthier. But I'm assuming that this is going to grow and change. We have Tuesday coming up. I wouldn't be surprised if, a certain amount of them get rotated out and then some new ones come in. Or I would prefer them to just add some. I don't mind the bonus loot rotator, but I want all of the content to be available at all times. So I hope they don't rotate content like I'm expecting them to. But we still have access to all of these previous lost sectors. And for some context for the gameplay that you are seeing right now, I played every solo op 3 times on the advanced mode. So not super crazy, but I feel like this is right around where most game time across the entire player base will be spent in this playlist. I think this is a good casual gamer kind of a spot. And we also have these new modifiers, and I have a bone to pick, and that bone is once again same as the solo ops list itself, a lack of options. I like the options we have, but more options means more playtime. And sitting here doing all 3 of these was a significant amount of playtime. And I ran out of combinations of shit that I wanted to try in a total of 18 runs. But right now at advanced, you have 4 Bane options, of which you can pick 2, and you have 6 challenge mod options, of which you can pick 2. Then you get to pick 3 boons, which is a positive mod buff thing, out of 8 options, which was originally 9 until they took out the fucking grappler buff because people were using it to speed up a ridiculous grinding system for, I'm not sure if anybody watched that raid race, but for a raid race that definitely needed you to be as high as possible with the best shit possible because all the health bars were fucking insane. There's plenty of content out there, people bitching and whining and moaning about the grappler boon being fucking taken off, which I agree it shouldn't have been taken off. So I'm not gonna do a whole video. I'm just gonna go gay, and I'm gonna leave that there. So now, while the lack of options is kind of a bummer, like all things in this fucking game, I assume we're gonna be fed it to some extent. But what we do have is actually really, really fun. My favorite Bane combo, granted there's not that many, is Screeves plus the Threadlings. And it just creates an army of these little annoying bugs that are always chasing you at all times, which I think is just goofy. One of my favorite things though is a new positive mod called Stunning Emote. You're gonna see me hit it a couple times in this gameplay. It allows you to use your emote so you could do things like hit a motherfucking JoJo pose. You get kills to charge your stun emote through 3 tiers. The first tier is a close range arc blinding. The mid range is strand, tangle, suspend, and then the long range is a fucking stasis freeze effect. So if you save up and you just keep killing and killing and charging, you could eventually freeze, and I mean damn near entire fucking rooms with fucking stasis after hitting a fucking JoJo pose. A couple other things, for how hard this content is, over each of my 3 solo runs, my first run, I was under level. For my second run, I was on level. For my third run, I was over. Changing up builds and, you know, all that kind of stuff. When I was under level, advanced wasn't enough to make me sweat, but it was just enough where I was being mindful of my cover, so I couldn't be completely brain dead and play. But, you know, like, I'm not, like, leaning forward with my gamer subs and my fucking gamer chair. It really took about 12 minutes. Felt kind of like a lower-end Nightfall minus champions. Playing on level, where I should be, like doing a Lost Sector, if not a bit longer, depending on how fast you're able to run a Lost Sector. I'd say about 8 minutes, but over level was ridiculously piss easy. I mean, 4 to 6 minutes. There was a captain boss that's like it's the end part of the mission. It's like a boss. And I forget how many I got, and I'm sure you'll see it. I think it was like 2 or 3 headshots, and then entire boss fight done. Also, story-wise, it's fucking solo ops. Like, obviously, there's nothing crazy here. But there was a lot of new, you know, characters talking back and forth. Mostly Saint 14 involved. Him talking to Devrim, him talking to Anna Bray, talking about Osiris, talking about, you know, the Vex, talking about blah, 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 blah. Lots of Saint-focused, like, background story. Also, they added these, like, data pads, and it seems like every Lost Sector and every Fire Team op has at least one somewhere, like, not really hidden, but you do have to, like, be paying attention because you can, like, run right past them. Using the little, like, text box format that you get on fucking Kepler, which is a nice way to, I don't know, just, like, add some nice little flavor text for those that want that. There's only a couple enemies available. Vex, Fallen, Taken. No Hive, no Cabal, no Scorn, no Dread. So, I'm not going to spend too long bitching about not having 4 of the races. I'm just going to look Bungie straight in the eyes and go, gay, for a second time this video. I ran these in the order that they show up on, like, the portal screen. But I'm going to list these and talk about these in what I think was the worst mission to best mission. To start at worst, work our way up to best. So speaking of the worst, starting with fucking Skywatch, this turd was more running and standing than actual combat. Now, some blanket things that I have to say about all of these solo ops before diving too far into just Skywatch. Every solo op could be broken into 3 core parts. There's a main objective, there's like a side challenge, and then a boss fight. The challenge, the reason I'm stopping here, is because I might as well talk about, because it applies to every single one. The little, like, sub-objective extra challenge thing doesn't affect your main mission, largely optional, but it is a way to encourage players to, like, slightly change up their play styles. Not in any major way, but in my total of 18 solo ops, I ran into 4, count them, 4 total sub-objectives, and each of them would change, like, the required number to hit. The only 4 I saw were, 1 is get kills with your powers, you know, use your super or melee or whatever. 2, get kills with weapons. It's an FPS. The one that I think is the most relatively challenging compared to the other ones is just get headshot kills. Usually only between like 10 to 15. Last one. I saved the best sub-objective for last. This is fucking riveting. Get kills. Get X number of kills. Now granted, usually those first 3 are like between like 10 and 20 kills. But that last one of just get kills is like 50 to 60. But it's just get kills and you're the only person in the mission. So it's free bonus XP or loot or whatever it gives you, I guess you really don't have to pay any attention to it. I guess I guess it encourages you to not skip over sections. Kind of a wet fart. Speaking of wet farts, the entirety of Skywatch was cap 3 zones, and then the end boss fight was to 3-tap that fallen captain I was talking about. So, about a bing, about a bang, wet fart. Second most ass was Conflux. The main objective in this mission was literally just to kill things, just to go, off you go, apparently, just into the fucking ether, kill and walk fucking forward. Boss was 2 taken Minotaurs. One always has a damage gate, but the other doesn't, and then it switches targets. It's like the subjugators on the Dreadnought. And I actually like this for a way to slow down a boss fight without completely stopping a boss fight. I hate complete, like, damage gate. No. You go do something else. I like having ways to change it up. I do not like completely cock blocking my Chaos Reach halfway through. So I like this system for a boss, but I would like to see some other similar systems. If I see this again, and I see it too often, and it's the only way, and they simply just take the subjugator thing, you know, subjugator's 1, this is 2, 3 times the charm. If I see it a third time, I'm gonna call Bungie gay for a third time this video. So Bungie, you're on notice. Also, the only reason I'm putting Conflux above Skywatch is because something I noticed that was cute is because while you would think in this area the stuff you would be fighting is Vex, it was actually Taken. But not only was it Dire Taken, it was also only Taken Vex. It was only Dire Taken Vex. It was only Taken Hobgoblin, Taken Goblin, and Taken Minotaurs. That's it. So I do like that. Like, it adds a little wrinkle of like environmental storytelling that I can appreciate. Least ass of the ass category was the K1, not Lost Sector, the solo op. The K1 solo op is different from the actual fucking Lost Sector. The main objective was basically just kill 3 servitors, and then as soon as you kill them, there's a thing right next to them that you hold X on. So basically just kill 3 servitors. Then once you get to the actual Lost Sector, there's a fallen Corsair boss that was extremely fucking annoying, because I was using New Land, and I've never claimed to be the best sniper. However, I think most people could agree that a flying, whirly-durly, rotating target is significantly harder to hit than something like a servitor with a big fucking target for a phase. And it had 2 fucking immune phases. And guess how you bring down the immune phase? Oh! You kill a servitor. Oh, you have to. You are contractually obligated to kill 5 servitors in this mission. If you don't kill these servitors, you can't complete it. You gotta kill the 5 servitors. They're very important. It's the main objective, man. It's the main thing, man. You got. The first one that I think was not shit was Caldrea, whichever one the Kepler one is. The main objective is basically just press X at 3 different spots, but it's, you know, flavorful and blow up fallen cache of bullshit. What I did like is that you wouldn't blow it up. You would call in like the little friendly motor shanks, and then they would like help you fight the dudes that were guarding it. Like they would just walk up to a drag and just boom, and you go to a captain and fucking boom. And then after you cleared that zone, then it would go and it would blow up the thing for you. The boss was twin Vandals, or no, I think it was twin Marauders. The little small fucking difference that makes. And again, Bungie twin boss immune swap mechanic. So Bungie, 3 times the gay. That means you're probably gay. Gay me once, gay on you. Gay me twice, gay on me. Gay me 3 times, you're probably gay. Now we get to the first one that I actually had fun with. Creation. first and only one to have 2 separate main objectives. The first is you have to stand and you have to capture a Vex plate, just from waves of Vex. But I actually really enjoyed that section because there was enough shit there that I could never just set my controller down. Like, I had to be constantly looking and fighting and shooting. It was not hard enough to make me go, oh shit, oh, I'm pooping my pants. But it was just enough where, like, I had to keep, like, changing where I'm looking at. I can't just keep, like, meleeing in the same spot and the room cleans itself. The other objective was shoot all of the oracles in a pretty decent parkour / combat section, and I like the oracles because there's like 12 of them and you gotta kind of like search around for them. Kills it a little bit that it's a parkour section that's been used in at least 3 other pieces of content. If you've ever played a piece of content, a story mission, a strike, a fucking anything, where you have to go into the recreation area of like the Bray, like exoscience, then you've done this a couple times. It was in a heist fucking battleground, but I mean they keep reusing it because it's a cool area. But still, again, they are reusing shit. The final boss was a Hydra. Again, nothing crazy, but the first boss that took more than 5 shots to kill when I was over leveled. Actually, I had to shoot it. And then my favorite one, best for last, was another Taken solo op mission in the salt mines. Now, real quick, if you've been paying attention, counting, that's 3 fallen ops, which, okay, 1 Vex op. I was expecting more, because, you know, Fallen and Vex makes sense for them to focus on. It's a Fallen and Vex expansion. I just wasn't expecting to have 2 Taken and 1 Vex. There's more Taken than Vex. So, I mean, I just thought that was kind of interesting. The objective was pretty standard. Boss was meh. Break blights and kill a Taken Centurion. But what I thoroughly enjoyed was the actual combat in the area and the parkour, just the overall level itself, not the objectives necessarily, but the overall stage. It was just genuinely enjoyable and fun. There was one section where it's like a really dark cave and you're kind of like, it's kind of like one of those like dropper Minecraft maps. You're like going down this dark cave, parkouring, but also you're fighting and shooting. So the main objectives for every single solo op very likely rotate or change, or they are RNG, and mine was just like either ass or bugged and just giving me the same thing. I have seen a clip of a objective on Skywatch where instead of capping zones, it is breaking hive crystals, but I didn't get that in my 3 runs. I got cap zone, cap zone, cap zone. I didn't want to keep capping zones just to continue to cap zones. The only sort of change to the main objective that I saw was to where the main objective spawns. For example, in Caldrea, the like fallen explosive thing would be in like a different area, or Skywatch, like the zones would spawn in like a different spot. The Vex like oracles would spawn in like different floating areas. But still the same base objective, just, you know, you can't do the exact same thing every time. Sometimes you look to the left, sometimes you look to the right, you know. That about covers solo ops, at launch at least. My game is updating right now. I'm excited to see if there's more. If there's not more, I'm gonna kind of be bummed. I also am aware that there are more modifiers and changes that you can make as you go up in fucking levels. But the grind's a little whack. I don't think I mind the grind necessarily right now, but I can tell that it's gonna get real old as soon as I hit 200. As soon as I hit 200, and as soon as Renegades hits and I'm back down to 200, I might shit my pants a little bit. Solo ops are not offensive to me, it don't irritate me, but not my favorite content. What I would recommend for solo content is solo queuing into fire team ops. That's where I've been living. That shit's fucking fire. This spiel of mine has tickled your pickle. You should grant me a fucking nickel by like giving us a subscribe and a like, because it helps us out. It's cool. It makes the YouTube algorithm happy, sucky, long time. So I appreciate you for watching, and I will see you around.
Watching the Guardian tear through our enemies, it used to make me thirsty for combat.